Oh, hey guys, let's animate some electricity. Lightning, to be precise. So I got this bolt of lightning that, funny anecdote here, I've actually attempted this tutorial more times than I care to remember, and turns out animating lightning is hard. Let's do it together. Maybe with our powers combined we can figure out how to do lightning. So I'm going to want my animation to be about 16 frames. So I come out here and I hit F5. Come out here means click on frame 16. Create a new layer, lock layer 3, and we shall draw on layer 2. If I use the line tool, that's Y. Y is in the letter Y, not Y is in WHY. I can see here the sort of major line of motion that I got going on. If I turn on outline mode, then it turns to the color of my layer outline, which, I don't know, we'll set it to green. Because green shows up nice and easy against black, which is what I'm going to have when I hide my electricity. So rather than just plowing on and trying to animate this guy, like I've been trying to do, oops, of course the layer's locked, sorry. Rather than just trying to animate this guy, like I've been trying to do, frame by frame, all these complicated shapes, I'm going to animate the movement of the core of the electricity. You know how in character animation, characters have like a skeleton that you move around in Maya? Maybe you don't, but if you do, then you know what I'm talking about. Well, if I can get this string to move in an appealing sort of way that I really like, then there's hope for the electricity to follow the same motion. So, come on out to frame 8 and hit F7. Halfway through this dude's lifetime, maybe it's a dudette, hard to say, it's going to be opposite. If I want it to be a nice looping, wavy, electrical animation. But exactly opposite, it's kind of boring, because it's just going to kind of wobble in place repeatedly over and over again, and that gets repetitive. You can do things to still give it an equal balance side to side, but you can give it some life so that it feels more spontaneous and like it has a personality to it. You know what I'm saying? Notice up here where I didn't give it as much area over here, I brought it out further away. So if this is closer, then it'll still feel balanced because this guy comes out further. And then here, you know, maybe it just comes more straight, but it's closer in or something like that. You can kind of finesse this and just say, yeah, I don't know, it might look good. Okay, come over here, create a keyframe. Now, this is an important thing to remember. When you're in-betweening at this stage, where there's a ton of space between these, and I just noticed something. This should be frame 9, not frame 8. Yeah, now they're equally spaced. My bad. I guess I'm not perfect. Okay, so when you're in between, I'm going to use outline onion skinning so that it shows up green on the frame before and after, but blue, which is the color I have on the frame that I'm drawing on. You don't want to just in between it, because if I in between this literally, it would be like that. And then if I in betweened it literally again over here, well, it would be the same, right? It's going to be, it's going to, ooh, that doesn't work. I have to turn layer 3 into a guide layer before I hit Control Enter. And what you get is a very sad floppy string that wobbles back and forth, which honestly is what a lot of my other attempts at lightning have looked like, is this string just with fancier shapes and things moving around. But the motion is lackluster. It's kind of sad. So don't in between like that. Don't be that guy or gal. Let's delete those. You want to give the wave of the electricity a direction. And you want to give it a velocity. So you as the animator get to decide how much it's waving, how fast it's waving, and what shapes it's taking as it waves. So if this is my frame before, so the less crazy one, this guy here, is the first frame. I have this tip, and that tip, right? On the second frame, this guy right here, I have this tip, this long tip, and this tip. And this guy too. So I get to choose which tips turn into which tips, or rather which curves or bumps, or whatever you want to call them, turn into what. Well, if I did this, I could say that new bump comes there, right? So this is going to turn into this. I could say that this guy here is going to turn into this one, which means that the in-between would be like that, right? I could say that this guy here is going to turn into that one, which is going to be like that. And then this guy here is going to turn into that one. Should be like that. This is a step better than what I did before. If I did the same thing over here, I'll show you. I'll copy frame 1 and I'll create a new frame here and paste it in place with Control-Shift-V. So now, remember now this guy is coming first, so he's going to want to turn into this bump. So this guy's halfway in between. And then, let's see, oh my brain, it's getting too late in the day for my brain to work. Yeah, this guy here is going to turn into that guy there. So that goes there, and then that one fades off, I guess. Yeah, this tip here just kind of is gonna, oh, it's gonna become, no, it's not. It's fading off. Okay. So now let's look at that. So now we have a wave that is traveling downwards. Step in the right direction, right? One small problem. For electricity, it's moving kind of slow. So there's two things I can do. I can either add other waves or other parts of the animation that are going to move quicker, like maybe secondary stuff. It's like, and this is kind of like stable pulse that's going through it. Or I could double the speed, right? So to double the speed, I would have to change this frame here and this frame here that I just drew to basically be further ahead down the line. Now my gut tells me that doubling the speed is not the way to go, because in previous attempts it was moving so quickly that my brain was like, that's just random motion on the screen. So I'm going to keep the speed the way it is. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm even going to go one step further. I'm going to clean these up. Select these little doodad line segments that are coming off like that. Oops. Delete that. Grab this and snap it onto there so that it completes that segment, like so. And I can delete that guy. And then delete that. Alright, that's getting really long. I'll erase that. Getting too long for your own good, son. Touch up these little bits here and there. There's a short one in there. What's he doing so short? Oh, of course he was on after that guy. Okay, so these are looking pretty good. What's in between them? just cuz. Alright, so starting a wave up at the top, like so. Goes from no wave to a wave, so let's see. I'll start it like that. Yeah, that'll work. And then that wave becomes this dude. And you can see the in-betweens are already much easier to figure out. Wavy motion is really the key to adding some personality to most any element, actually. I mean, except for like stone, but even then it has like nice curves in it. You can kind of adjust these in-betweens so that you can feel the wave. It should feel like one of those visualizers of music. You know the things I'm talking about? Where it like shows you what the sound looks like? Yeah, that's what you're going for. So it's waving on down there. And then this guy's coming up there. Okay, so here I come to that point again where I could just do it right in between. It's probably not going to look very good. So maybe I'll do this. Switch it up. It's those little things that'll add the personality that you're looking for. Especially with electricity. I mean, if it were like something smooth like water, no, you don't want to do that stuff. You want to keep it pretty gradual in its transition. Okay. Come on over to here. This wave becomes that one. That feels weird. That should not be happening. Because, like, look at this. This curve here is just moving that way. You know what I mean? And that's lame. Let's get rid of that. Oops. Should be moving like, yeah, like something like that. So that you don't have a curve moving like that, so that it bows out like that when it's moving over. Maybe it shortens to get ready to become that guy. Anyway, we got to finish this line up, and then we'll finish the tutorial up. Just drawing waves. That's all I'm doing. Copy that first frame again, paste it in place, then hit F7 again. And draw your doohickey like that. Shift F5 to get rid of that dude. There you go. So you got this nice waving action going on. And this, I think, is the beginning to a successful looping lightning animation. Doesn't look like much right now, but just you wait. When I start to show you the magic that can happen when you build upon the simple skeleton of an animation in the next tutorial. Hope you learned something.